Hey guys, this is Chef Farouj, founder of Indulge Right Foods, and I'm here. I run an experiment, so I just want to share a result with you. And oh, we're recording. All right. Um, so as you see from the pictures in here, I made some meringues. This is about the sugar-free and alternatives, and I've done a couple videos in the past about how alternatives and substitutes aren't always what they've been promised to be. So in this case, I've actually wanted to make a sugar-free meringue. It looks like I could switch them now. So anyways, and I did. This was my first run, and I've used a product that's been sold in the industry as a sugar substitute that you could use for any of your baking needs. It's supposed to act like sugar, behave like sugar, taste like sugar. Now, from the taste, it does. Doesn't have aftertaste and all that. As far as acting like sugar in any and all of your baking needs, not quite. So the reason why I want to share that is because a lot of times you get these claims that are really just about claims, and maybe it works if your standards are so low that anything it's better than nothing. But in this case, as you could see, I'm going to switch around in here. So these, they may not look like it, but they're actually been baked. So I made regular meringue, baked it, just like I would with regular sugar. And I'm just going to show you something here. Now, look. This is actually baked meringue. Now, if you look at the structure, it's somewhat, fairly baked, if you'd say. So it acts like like sugar. However, as you could see, the texture was never dried up. It never, I've baked this for like a couple hours. In fact, I baked it longer. If you look at it, it's actually almost like start to caramelize or brown. But look, it's all gooey, has nothing to do with meringue. So what's the bottom line? Maybe you've experimented with these before, or any part of sugars that's been claimed as sugar alternatives that you could use and substitute for regular sugar. Or I've done several videos, like I mentioned earlier, about the gluten-free products that are, you could substitute them cup for cup, and you get the same results no matter what you use for. But you don't. The reality is that even in sugar-free applications, now this was my first attempt. Those of you who know me, you know that I'm gonna crack the code no matter what. If I decide to pursue it, if I decide to invest the time in it, which most likely I will, because think about it. You remove the sugar from the meringue, and you've got a great product, right? Just protein ultimately. If you could find a different way to add some fiber in it, then you'll also have some, almost some fibers and from some protein and no side effects ultimately. So that's a great result, I'd say. But obviously it requires a lot more work. So it's really, one thing is, there's no product that will just replace anything for everything, unfortunately, and that's been the struggle for the industry for years now. Number two is the same thing, also the same rule, if you would, applies for baking with sugar-free or gluten-free products, right? So I've shared in the past the results where you can't use the same flour mix for cakes and cookies and yeast-based products or laminated products. So you have to have a different blend for everything. I don't have, like I said, this was coming back to the things. This was something to just use basically. When you look at it, just gone kaboot. But and I'm not going to mention the product, which it doesn't matter. But the fact is that if you have run through some tests or you've played with it in the past and you've had problems with it, know that it's not your fault. So it just not, sometimes it just things are promised for um, marketing purposes. But I will continue to play with it. I'll keep you updated. And no, this has nothing to do with my caramel sauce. I've played with it for years and that's been perfected. I can't wait for this whole thing to be over with and the countries open up and we could share the products with you. But bottom line is everything has a different formulation. Everything has a different, when you substitute and you're going for the substitutions. And if you really want to eliminate all the side effects, then you've got to reformulate and come up with something different for each and every application. I mean, think about it just like medicine, right? You can't use same medication for heart and the same one for kidneys. I think it just does the same thing here. So anyways, just want to share that with you, and I'll keep you guys posted on the next batch and see how that goes, and I'll share that with you. All right, talk to you guys later. Hope you're staying sane and stay safe.